I'm taking Jared Goff over 288.5 passing yards. And the reason is very simple. I don't think Jared Goff is a good quarterback, but the Seahawks have historically, in the history of the NFL, the worst passing defense in NFL history. They're giving up 362 passing yards per game. Just to put it into perspective, the worst passing defense in a full season was the 2011 Packers. They gave up 299 passing yards per game. The Seahawks are averaging 63 more passing yards per game than the worst passing defense in the history of the NFL. And the Seahawks have a good offense, so it's going to be a shootout. The Rams defense is good. I will say that. But I do think the Seahawks will score enough that Jared Goff can throw the ball for over 288 yards.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side of this one. I think your analysis about the Seahawks defense is correct, but I looked at the high figure on this line, and in a divisional game where there's a decent amount of familiarity, and the Seahawks defense has just been really thrown under the bus in just by the entire national media, I kind of expect that secondary to show up and play.
Interesting. So the way the Seahawks defense works is they try to make teams one-dimensional. So they take away the run. They're only giving up like 92 rushing yards per game. If they do that, if they continue to do that, which is what they've done the whole year, they leave their passing game just like completely exploited, which is why, all these historic numbers are being put up against them. So, I mean, clearly it's not working. So if they change their defensive scheme and they, give the run a little more room and they allow teams to run the ball a little more with a little more success, I could see your bet going right. And also, Jared Goff is not a good quarterback. So betting on this is not fun for me. I'm just simply betting against the worst passing defense in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's amazing that this defense is so bad playing under Pete Carroll, the secondary to be the black eye of that team.
Yeah.
He's made his entire career as someone who's just extremely adept at working with the secondary.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is enough talent. Jamal Adams is there. Quandre Diggs is there. And I don't think their cornerbacks are a little banged up, but even their depth, I mean, I don't hate Trey Flowers as like my nickel corner. Yeah. So I think if they've been embarrassed like they have been, I think they have what it takes to put together a good defensive performance when they have Jamal frickin' Adams.
He hasn't done anything yet. Also, keep an eye on Cooper Kupp, because if he is hurt, I probably wouldn't take this bet because he's had wrist injuries the last couple of weeks. So if he sits, I would not take this.
Yeah, and this is like the classic game for this weekend. Like, I thought this was the toughest week to pick lines for because we have all these games like Rams Seahawks, and like I believe the Cardinals Bills game is similar to that, where the lines are like under a field goal.
Yeah.
And it could easily go either way. And we just had one Thursday night. So proceed with caution. It's a toss-up week out there.